Okay, so then they leave the filters, all 3 filters come over to this. What am I looking at here?
So so you have the filtered water coming over from here. This is a blending valve. So we soften about 70% of the filtered water will then go through the softeners. 30% of it will remain unsoftened and just go directly to the clear well. So your filtered water, 70% of it is going to travel up here.
30% or
70%.
70?
Yep,
Okay.
we soften about 70% of that filtered
Oh,
water.
70% gets softened. Okay. I'm sure the audience heard that. I did not. Hard of hearing. So it comes through that pipe. And here's a softener. That one looks a little smaller than the other ones, but.
Yeah, one of them's about a little over half.
Okay.
Half the size.
And once again, we have lots of valves associated. So we probably have an influent and an effluent.
Yeah, so the influent, again, it comes in the top. So this would be your filtered water coming through. And then it travels up and into the top of the softener.
Okay. That's cool.
Yep.
And then it comes out.
And then it'll come out down here.
Down here. There you are. And it's that pipe right there, all color coded. And through this valve?
No, so that's actually the backwash valve.
Okay.
So it comes through this valve here.
This is your effluent valve.
That would be the effluent. So off the bottom,
Okay.
through this valve,
Up
travels
this
back
pipe.
up.
And there you are, back to the blending
Back
area.
down. Yep.
When we were at Twin Cities water treatment plant, Donnie mentioned that they do not soften their water.
Some places don't.
Yeah, are you required to?
You're not required. EPA doesn't require you to soften. There's no regulation on margins.
Gotcha.
We do it just because our raw water coming in is pretty aggressive.
And it's a community thing.
Yeah, it helps. I mean,
Yeah.
residential, if you bring in softened water, it helps.
They like it.
Yeah.
Most people do. They get used to it. So there's a lot more valves on here, just like on the filters. Why don't we go through that? So this is a lot like a home softener as well, right?
Pretty much.
Same concept here. We have resin inside those big things, right?
Yeah, so it's called bead resin. It's just like tiny little marbles that do the ion exchange.
Almost look like sand, but they're not.
Yeah, it looks a lot like sand.
Yeah. I've replaced mine in my home softener before, so it doesn't pack like sand. They're little glass beads. But in case, having said that, so same principle,
Same
right?
principle.
Yeah. So if you have a home softener, it's going to be the same thing. These are just a lot bigger. So when I do my home softener, I backwash and then I brine it and then I do something
Yeah,
else.
so it's the same thing here. It's the backwash process. Again, just forcing water. So this will close.
That's your effluent closes.
Yep. This will open.
That's your backwash.
Yep. So that'll force water down through here.
Down into that pipe.
Yep. And then
Into the bottom.
Yep.
So
And
then
then
the
back up
water
through.
goes back up top and then it comes out here.
Yep. And then this valve will be closed. during
That's
the
your
backwash.
influent.
Yep. This valve will open.
That's your waste valve.
Yep. And then of course the
Brown pipe again. All right. And then that brown pipe then goes across and where does it go? Back into the same pit?
It's a separate pit for the softener waste.
Okay.
But yeah, there again, it just goes into a holding tank.
Goes into another pit. All right. Sounds good. There's maybe a better view of a softener here.
And then
On this side.
after the backwash process, then we do the brine step, which that 2-inch PVC goes in.
Okay. We can see that here.
Yep.
This is, and what's brine?
Just salt water, basically.
Exactly.
And that goes in, so above the resin in the tank, so the resin will sit just below that level there where that 2-inch goes in.
Okay.
A few inches below that, then there's a header like a manifold that it will spray that brine
Okay.
over the resin.
All right. How do you know how much brine you need? Time?
Yeah, we just calculated off the size of the tank. So
Okay.
it's around 300 gallons per tank. The smaller tank will get about 270.
Get this going. So, I mentioned just a few minutes ago that they were adding another set of filters and another set of softeners. This, as you know from when we came in and we couldn't find the entrance, is a new area they're adding on, just freshly constructed this summer. And they have the pads already in place for the new filters. As you can see from the old filters, those are the pads. And then over here is the area for the softeners that just sit on the concrete.
Yep.
Right? They just have legs to them. Hard to see here, but I can show you that. So that is the legs that the softeners sit on. And there you have it. So for your brining, where does the brine come from?
The brine comes from, there's a brine tank outside. It's pumped in from outside.
Okay.
Pumped in from outside through that 2-inch
Okay.
PVC line and then into the brine.
Maybe we can take a look at
Yeah.
one of your brine tanks. We are at the brine tanks, and they're nothing more than a bunch of pits. Not much to look at, is there?
Yep, just full of brine.
So what do? You have trucks come in with salt?
Yeah, we do about 25 tons at once.
Okay.
It's basically just rock salt like you put in a
Your
residential
streets?
shop.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. And then,
So this is actually, there's no actual rock salt in here. There's a strainer in the bottom of the pit
I
you just
gotcha.
looked at. And then you just get that concentrated brine.
you just have your brine, so that's
Yeah.
your concentrated salt water there.
And then there's a pump, submersible pump down in the bottom of this. It's about 12 feet down, and that's what that concentrated.
How long do
brine-
those last in the salt water?
It varies. We've had good luck lately.
Have you?
We'll stretch it. They can go 5 or 6 years.
Okay, well that's pretty good. Well, I gotta believe it's kind of like what they say about the salt mines in the ocean. Anyways, it's when you take them out that you have your problem.
Yeah, if they're and they are constantly submerged.
Yeah.
This runs off of a float system.
Right, right.
So they're never actually exposed.
That's why
to
boats
air.
there.
Yeah.
But as minute you pull a boat out of the ocean, you don't have much time at all. Same thing they say about all the equipment digging the salt. That if you ever bring those trucks up,
then
they're
it gets-
done.
yeah.